Hi, and welcome to the online version of ENTP1000. I'm Professor Terry Bold, one of your two instructors for this class. This video is going to be outside of the Canvas system because you may not have used it. It's new to campus. So we'll be using it this semester. I want to make sure you at least know how to get in and get going on your online course. I'll come back and tell you a little bit about myself later, but for now, let's dive into Canvas. So to log into Canvas, you're going to go to canvas.uccs.edu. And if you've not logged in before, it'll ask you to log in using your campus password. If you have, then you'll be taken, if you logged in before, it'll take you straight in. In this case, I have multiple classes. I'm just going to jump to ENTP1000's online version. The system will start in your home page, which will show you various things scrolled out by time. So here we can sort of see week one, the resources. So these are the material from the chapters. Week two, and so on. You'll have assignments and things will show up in this view. You want to see the actual modules where materials come from. Here we see the materials for week one. There are two discussion assignments, Introductions and Observations and Dissecting Innovations, as well as two quizzes based on the reading from our book. Our textbook is Entrepreneurship, the Practice and Mindset. It's a little bit like this. You can get it online, get an ebook version of it, which actually comes with some extra videos, which can be nice. Other thing to know when you go into Canvas, I'm going to want you to update your profile, add a profile pic. So this is my profile. I clicked on account. Now I can click on profile. I can edit my photo. In my case, to get my photo to work, I have to use my photo from Gravatar, but you can try and get yours to work directly. I already had one in Gravatar. And then you put in a little bit about yourself. This will be part of your first week's assignment. As you go to understand your various courses, right, there'll be things inside of here where you can look at where it just shows you module. You can go to the syllabus, which I'm going to talk about next. The course syllabus, so this is my contact information, Terry Bold. Here's how to find me. Email is the best way. I do give my cell phone number out. If you're going to text me, I'm not very frequently responding to text. My phone's silent during meetings, which is most of the day, and then I may or may not notice one later. If you do text me, please make sure you put your name and that you're in this class so I know who's texting me. Random phone numbers don't really give me much of an idea. I'm also office hours Wednesdays 10 to 11 and by appointment. You can email me just about any time. I read email many times per day. Don Stewart is our co-instructor. Here's his contact information as well. Best way to contact either one of us is by email. In fact, the best thing to do is send both of us email. When you send email, please include ENTP1000 in the subject line and any course-related emails. I have separate filters that will take that email and put it in the right folder, and if you don't put it in there, then there's a good chance I may not even notice the message. If I don't answer an email within 2 days, it means it's probably got marked as read and I will not notice it again. So try again if you haven't heard from me after 48 hours or so. I'm not going to go through all the course description. This is online. You can read through all this. There's a couple points I want to make sure we get to. First is some expectations. You should be expecting to work 6 to 7 hours, if not more, in this class beyond the reading the videos. We will have assignments for you to work on. Much of that will actually be in your team as you work throughout the semester. So understanding how to work with the tools and spending that time is not part of what we look at as the 6 to 7 hours. That's just doing the work. Reading and doing the video stuff is on your own. There's the textbook, links to where you can get it either as an online version or a physical version. It should also be in the bookstore. There's some links to supplemental material. We may actually mention some of these throughout the semester. So as I said, Canvas is the online course we're going to be using. I'm going to be emailing you a link to this video, which is the last time I will do that. From now on, things will just show up in Canvas. You are responsible for logging into Canvas regularly and knowing what's going on. Because this is an online course, there's not a physical meeting time, but we are going to run this as sort of a Tuesday to Tuesday oriented week. So Tuesday's the beginning of our class week. Lots of things will be due on Monday night, just so that we can start the next week with new materials. There are things due multiple times per week. Hopefully you're not looking at this as an online class where you log in once, spend an hour, and you're done for the week. You'll be doing a lot of things with multiple due dates in the middle of the week as well. Communication within the system is definitely the good way. We'll be sending out messages and assignments. We'll be also having online quizzes and exams within the system. There are discussion boards and assignments, places for you to upload assignments, and you'll see this. We'll also be posting our student grades there so you can confidentially look at your grades. Discussing the overall grading for this class, we're going to have multiple different categories. So 24% of your grade is going to be for your team assignments and videos. I'll talk about those videos again in a little bit. You're going to have 28% of your grade or your 2 pitches broken up into 8% for your midterm and 20% for your final pitch. All of these things here are team grades. Team grades are not uniform. We may give different team members different grades based on who did what, and as part of that, inside the team assignments and videos, there's actually 2%, which is your self and peer assessment, where every time there's a team assignment, there'll be a peer assessment to go with it. Then there's a bunch of things that are on your own, so it'll be the individual discussions and a few assignments that are just on your own. There will be quizzes, around 15 of them, midterm and final exam. All together, this totals 100%. 48% of those are individual points, 52% are teams. And as I said, your team scores will not necessarily be uniform. So if one of you is doing a lot more work than the rest of your team, you still have to do enough work to make sure you get an A, but not everyone on the team has to get an A. We'll be using a weighted scoring system, so all these weights are entered into Canvas, and different assignments will show up. Percentages within each assignment, 93 to 100 is an A, and so on, pretty standard stuff. We are likely going to be curving a number of assignments, so if we curve them, we'll still curve them into the 0 to 100 scale, so you can look at them that way. But raw scores would then be removed, and only the curved grades will show up in your final grade. Teams are going to form probably in the 3rd week of the semester. The same team works together throughout the semester on assignments, business pitches, and planning all the stuff we do. It's very important that you take your teamwork seriously, act quickly to raise and resolve any team and communication issues. Please don't hesitate to discuss your team issues with your instructor. Part of what we do in the BI is we want to make sure you understand how to work with people. Project grades will not be uniform, and there will be peer assessment. Starting in week 4 of the semester, at the beginning of each week, that is on Tuesdays, your team will be uploading a 15-minute Scrum-like very quick progress meeting. It's expected and required that your team make progress every week. Each team member will also briefly explain his or her contribution to the project in the past week and what he or she expects to accomplish in the following week. Each one or both of the instructors may also ask to have a video conference with your team. Note that both of these requirements require that your team find a time when all team members can be on a video call. The first call, your Scrum meeting, is really just between you. The second might be a time when your instructors will want to reach out and have chats with you as a team. Your pitch will be a final presentation to investors. It'll also be a practice pitch to the instructors, and we'll be giving you feedback to improve things. We're actually trying to get some community members who will be involved in watching the final pitches, just like we do in the in-class version. So your investor-ready formal pitch will be to a community member panels, not just your instructor. Because this is an online course, we'll be using virtual video-type tools during the semester. For example, Easy Talks, which is what I'm using to record this, is part of what we'll be using throughout the semester. Assignments and exams will be approximately 1 per chapter. These are individual, and that's pretty much going to follow the book. We will have 2 kinds of discussions. The first is a weekly entrepreneurship in the news, and then there'll also be general weekly discussions. In entrepreneurship in the news, some students each week will be assigned to find a news article related to the week's readings or assignments. These cannot be cited directly or indirectly in the week's readings or videos, so you have to find something on your own by searching. They will then post a link to that in a short 100 to 200 word summary, and then up to 5 people will be able to discuss their views on that article in relation to the reading assignment or how it relates to other teams or their team projects. So as you go through relating what entrepreneurship stuff you're seeing in the news to class, it's really bringing that world in. The other general weekly discussions will be our assignments, where you'll have various things, and I'll briefly talk about the assignments for the first week. Academic dishonesty, we take this seriously. Here's a link to the College of Business's academic dishonesty policy. Pretty much comes down to, if the instructors feel there's been dishonesty, that's all we need. You can get a 0 on that assignment, on the team grade, on the entire semester. and possibly, if we feel it's severe enough, going forward. Academic dishonesty is not just plagiarism. It's not just cheating. It's anything that we feel is misusing academic materials, fabrication of false materials, making stuff up, and actually being complicit. If one of your team members is cheating and you know about it, you may also be academically dishonest and may lose points for it. As always, we make accommodations for those with disabilities. If you have them, you need to talk to the disability service offices as soon as possible. We don't give accommodations retroactively, so you have to have had that form to us, which you can send us electronically before things begin. So this is not the entire semester's summary inside of the syllabus. As we add items in the system, you'll see them. So introductions and observations is actually your first assignment. It's due by Friday, January 19th, and I'll come back to that assignment in a second. Then there'll be another assignment due by January 21st, which is the assignment on dissecting innovations. And then by Monday, January 22nd, you need to complete the 2 quizzes. And the week 2 ENTP news is in the wrong place. I will move that. That's supposed to be in week 2. Sorry about that. So let's go look at the introduction and observations assignment. So in this assignment, you're going to introduce yourself. I'll have a separate video about that, but just like I had in my bio, you're going to want 100, 200 words plus a photo of yourself, and you're going to put that information in your profile as well. So this is just so all the students in the class can get to know who you are, and you're going to be able to go through them all and find potential teammates, so you're going to want to look through those as well. I'd also like you to address in about 50 words why you're taking ENTP1000 online. First, why you're taking ENTP, but also why you're taking it online instead of in the class. Okay. The last part, which is really the meat of the assignment, is to describe 3 problems you have observed with 50 to 150 words for each of those 3 problems. In it, I want you to describe a visual description of the person who has the problem. What do they look like? What is their age, gender, hairstyle, whatever you want, however you would describe them. I want you to say where and when you observed it for the first time and how many times you have observed it. And obviously, you're going to also have to describe what is the problem. Only one of these can be your own problem. The others must be observations of problems of others. So you can't just make up your own problems and say these are the problem. Do not discuss any solution ideas in your discussion, only the observations of the problems and the people that have them. This is due on 119 by midnight. You'll then get a chance to peer review in 100 words or about 100 words, at least 3 others about their observed problems. In fact, they can't be 3 problems from the same person. They need to be 3 different people's posts, so you'll get to look through them. You will automatically be assigned these 3 other students to review, and after your initial, you'll be automatically assigned these 3 other students to review after the initial post is due on 119. So on 120, you'll be able to start doing that. Your peer review the first part should start with the positives, including if you have if you've ever observed the problem as well, and other positive things about the observation of this problem. You can then discuss potential issues you see, how many people have it, who's already solving it. So there can be some negativity in that because people might already have solved this problem. Again, do not discuss solutions. You're only talking about observations of the problems or existing solutions, not your own ideas about how to solve it. This is due by 1/22, Tuesday at 11:59 p.m. So that's our first assignment for the week. If we go back, we can see what our second one is, which was dissecting innovations. So in this, you've all already been randomly assigned to a group, one of them in groups 1 through 8, and a random group leader has been assigned. So this is a group discussion among your group. Get used to working in teams. You're going to be randomly assigned to your group has been randomly assigned, and your leader can either choose a topic or allow the group to vote, or you can just take the default, which is if you're in group 4, then you're going to take the 4th invention and the best inventions of the 2017 list and work on that. If by 119 the group does not have an invention selected among your group discussion, then the group was automatically assigned invention number N from this list. I'm doing this because if your group leader fails to check in and do anything, you could be stuck and can't everyone's grade hurt by that. So hopefully you and your group leader can choose a topic and get going, but only the group leader can actually nail down the topic. Somebody else saying this is the topic we should do, You got to wait till the group leader says yes before that everyone else jumps in. So this is a group discussion. I'd expect to see a lively discussion where each of you look at this, and the goal is for you to define what is the problem, who's affected, what is the solution, and what alternative solutions already exist, and finally, what's the opportunity? And by the opportunity, we'd be talking about the size, the impact you might be having by trying to solve this. So those are your 2 discussions for this first week. That, plus obviously the reading and the quizzes, are your first week's total assignments. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, tbolt@uccs.edu. Look forward to chatting with you out throughout the semester.